So I have Scottie Barnes winning Rookie of the Year. I have Evan Mobley coming in as a close second, and I have Cade Cunningham actually coming in as a close third with his end of the season performances. Yeah, so the reason I have Scottie being first is because no one outperformed him in like an individual way. Like Cade was the offensive rookie of the year, Evan Mobley was a defensive rookie of the year, but Scottie Barnes was close to Evan Mobley in defensive and team impact. He was very, very close, arguable to be above him. I have Evan Mobley ahead of that in the defensive section. But then if you look at the offensive section, Cade is the guy. But Evan Mobley is close because of his versatility, his playmaking, and what he's been asked for. So due to him being like close both offensively and defensively, I give him the award. And then if you look at team success too, like the Raptors are significantly better than last season, and Evan Mobley gets a lot of his credit for why the Cavs got better, but the Raptors are better than them, higher in the standings, and Scottie Barnes should get a decent amount of that credit too. And I think he has crazy stats, like he's the only rookie since Magic Johnson to play all five positions. He had a great stint at center. We've seen him put in a point guard when Fred VanVleet was injured. We've seen his playmaking improve throughout this season. We've seen his confidence. Like he is the rookie of the year this year, and he has performed the best.
Yeah, I agree with you on all of that. I think, yeah, Mobley gets the nod defensively. But you're right. It's a close race offensively with Cade, and it's a close race with Mobley. The thing that stands out to me about Scottie is like when he was drafted, we, at least myself, thought he was going to be kind of a raw, like a raw talent that maybe would need some polishing, but he's so much more polished than I really expected. Like you said, defensively, he's has to do so much. He's spent time guarding point guards. He spent time guarding centers. He's not treated like a rookie in this Raptor system. He's treated as like one of the very important defensive, or one of the very important rotation players. And
yeah,
he is not just someone tagging along with the Raptors' success. They would not be where they are without him. Right. So that's kind of the reason I have him number one. And also, kind of aside from his 3-point shot, I really like his offensive game. I really think he can kind of score sometimes when he wants to, and he has a lot of like really polished go-to moves down low. If that shot comes along, he shot 29% this year. If that comes along, he could average 20 points next season if he hit a few more threes, like easily. He averaged 15 this year. So just being so polished, being so versatile defensively and offensively, the playmaking, the rebounding, and just basically looking like a competent, really good NBA player.
Yeah.
Pretty much the second he stepped on an NBA court. That's why I have him there.
Yeah. And if you look at his stats compared to like Evan Mobley's stats, they're like Scottie Barnes is just
they're
better.
The same. They're about the same. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about the same, but he's just better. He gets 15.4 points versus 14.9, 7.6 rebounds for Scottie versus 8.2 for Evan Mobley, 3.4 assists. 2.5 assists, more steals at 1.1 versus 0.8 for Mobley, less blocks at 0.8 versus 1.6 for Mobley. Turnovers essentially the same at 1.8 and 1.9. So yeah, if the Cavs were to finish with a higher seed, I would have gave it to Evan Mobley.
Yeah, you're right. It's interesting that we typically don't factor team success into rookie too much, but these two guys they're so good. They're not typical rookies. Rookies are usually like Cade Cunningham type seasons where they're averaging a pretty good amount of points on really bad efficiency with no team success. We're treating this almost like an MVP award, right? When we're considering the team success.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but Scottie's team has been better down the stretch than the Cavs, and they're pretty close in the standings, but the Raptors have clinched a playoff spot, and he's a huge part of that. So I really do think you have to factor that in.
And the reason we're factoring that in is because Cade didn't have such a extraordinary season where he blew these guys out of the water.
Yeah.
Like if he had like a Donovan Mitchell type season, like rookie season, Donovan Mitchell averaged like 21 points on great efficiency, but his team wasn't like Donovan Mitchell's team did good. But you know what I'm saying? Like Cade averaged like 21 and his team didn't do shit, he would have still won it. But he only averaged 17.4. Mm-hmm. Like we're talking about like 2-point difference, right?
Yeah.
And we're talking about 2-point difference where you're the main guy, it's your team, you got to do whatever you want versus you're in a battle for home court advantage. Like it's more impressive that he averaged 15.6 while getting 49 wins
Yeah.
versus Cade getting 2 more points and getting like no wins, right? So that's why this team success factor is being incorporated, because there was no runaway on a bad team, back like a Donovan Mitchell type scoring season or something like that, where someone just scores a lot of points and just runs away with their reward, or even like a Luka season,
Luka Doncic,
where Luka got like 25 and 5, but like his team wasn't on anything, but they still, like, his stats were so good that it was like no real competition, right? Like, these guys' stats are all comparable, so we have to bring in the extra factor of team success to make sure it goes to Scottie Barnes. And I think like this is a close award. I see people having Cade just because they're like future projections, but you have to remember that's not a part of this award.
No.
Like, if I had the first pick, this is going to be controversial to Raptors fans, I would probably still pick Cade Cunningham. But that doesn't mean anything for this award. This award is how they performed this season. Yeah. And that's why Scottie Barnes gets this award. I see a lot of that narrative come up because Cade is like very fun to watch, very electrifying, and he averaged 5.6 assists on the Detroit Pistons team, which had no scorers.
Yeah.
But like, that doesn't matter. It matters this season, and Scottie Barnes had a great this season.
Yeah.
And I think everyone knows, like, if we're looking at just this season, it has to be Scottie Barnes, and Anunoby has consideration too, but it's between those two. And
exactly.
Scottie gets it.
We both really wanted Jalen Suggs, and I'm really, really glad that we took Scottie Barnes. Getting someone who's going to be playing really, really heavy, important minutes in the playoffs as a rookie, and going to be really relied upon is
incredible.
More than just a draft pick. It's truly like it's almost like a free agent level signing acquisition that they made with that pick. So
yeah,
really happy we took him.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here so you never miss the best clips from Stretch the Floor. Hit the links in the description below to find us on all podcast platforms, and follow us on Instagram.